I started treating under my LLC in January of 2020, but my space here wasn't ready yet. So I was treating out of the corner of a gym for about a month. And then I moved into my space and started seeing clients here the second week of February 2020. And then we closed on March 13th, 2020. We reopened in June. People were still nervous to come in, and I was in full PPE treating patients like they were bombs. It wasn't a very patient-friendly environment to treat in June 2020. So I grew up in DC. I'm a DC native, which in some circles is kind of rare in this town. My mom and my dad are both kind of like first generation college and grad school. They met in DC. They're both attorneys. And their goal was to build this like beautiful life for their kids. I actually was convinced growing up that I was going to be an early childhood education teacher. My mom did not believe me for a second, but was like, follow your dreams, whatever you want to do. And so I went to UVA undergraduate thinking that I was going to go to their education school and do a 5-year undergrad and master's program. I got there, I started taking classes for early childhood education and was like, I think I just like kids. I don't think I actually like this. We actually visited the University of Michigan, and they were just starting their kinesiology sports medicine program. And we were sitting there listening to the spiel and the sale, and my mom leaned over and she was like, this sounds like you. But when mom said that, I was kind of like, nah, I don't know, maybe not. I took anatomy and I was like, oh, this is so cool. I absolutely love this. So my first real job out of PT school was working for what I call a PT mill. It was insurance accepting, and it was a corporate clinic. It was a clinic that we had techs, we had assistants, but as one provider there, I would see anywhere from 65 to 95 patients in a 40-hour work week. And then when I was in that practice setting, I felt like I'd been sold a false dream, because I didn't feel like we were using our skills as PTs to the best of our ability to help people get back to what they want to get back to and to live beyond being injured, not just recovering from an injury and being at baseline. I think that we have the ability to make people better than they were before they ever met us as physical therapists. And people want that. They want to live well and they want to be healthy. So I lasted there about 2 years, and then I went to a private practice in DC, single owner, that was also insurance accepting, except the difference was the volume was much lower. And I had a great boss there. His name is Dan. He's one of my mentors. And he's a big part of how I got to opening my own practice. As I started working for him, he had about 6 therapists who worked for him. We all were so happy. He had 0 turnover the whole time I worked there. I watched, though, the insurance companies start to bully him as a business owner. So he had built this great environment. And then the biggest insurance provider here at the time was Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they changed their reimbursement rates overnight, no warning, and so dramatically that he looked at us and was like, you guys are either going to have to see more patients like a physical therapy mill, or I'm going to have to let one of you go. That was 2018, 2019, and that's when I started to be like, okay, I'm ready to do this on my own. My mom saw it in me too. She saw it in me very early, and she would always say when I was working for Dan, yeah, Ashley, she'll probably have her own practice one day when she'd be talking to family members or friends. And I, in my head, would kind of think is she just saying that because it's not enough to be a staff PT for someone else? But she wasn't at all. She just saw this in me, that I had a vision on how we could be even better as physical therapists. But when I opened my business in 2020, obviously opened early 2020, closed the clinic. Personally, I also asked for a divorce, and then I sold our marital condo that we lived in, and then I moved into a house on my own. And I had roommates most of college and PT school, so there was a lot of obstacles I took on at the very same time. So the first couple of years in business was it was pretty rough, just trying to do this all on my own. I remember telling my therapist at one point, being like, I just wish someone else could answer the question. I wanted to change how we as PTs operate, even in cash-based PT. I never understood why physical therapists now, as doctor-level providers, didn't operate in spaces where we know how much we're worth, we know how much we should be making, and it's more of a percentage-based cut. So I wanted to set up what I call kind of like the barbershop style PT clinic, where it's physical therapists who are tired of working at a mill, who maybe had their own business and were tired of being a business owner, and they wanted to come in, see their clients, but still have the independence of like being their own business owner. Psychologists, how they operate is they typically take home, it's just a split. It's eat what you kill. It's a 60-40 split, sometimes even a 70-30 split for psychologists, which is amazing. But that's what we're going to do here. It's like you eat what you kill, you come in, big girl, big boy rules is what happens here, you know? I came into PT Biz in 2022 because I couldn't scale my first hire, Carly. I brought her on and everyone would come to the Fit Collective and I would take the call like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I can see you next week, but Carly can see you tomorrow. And they'd be like, well, I just want to wait for you. And so my face had become so synonymous with the brand and I couldn't fix it. I just didn't know how to fix it. And so that's when I called you guys. I was like, I need to build a brand that's beyond me. Getting to meet my coaches, the partners, and then all the other business owners, it's so fun to get to talk to people about their strategies and their visions. And I enjoyed it. Like, that was really fun. And what I really like about PT Biz is I think like having in-person community events is a game changer. Getting to meet in person twice a year is just so fun and fantastic, and you learn so much. And I tell my friends and patients that it kind of becomes like summer camp, where like you just, after you go to like 1 or 2 live events, you're like, I'm so excited to see my friends. You know, it's next summer, it's next, you know, half of the year, I get to see my friends. And so you go and you learn and you talk to each other, and then you get to just see your friends and hang out and, you know, catch up. And it's just so lovely. Now that we have like a really busy clinic and we have a group of trainers who sublease from us too, and they'll introduce themselves like, oh, hi, like, I haven't seen you here before. Like, I'm so-and-so, like, I work out with Janae. And they're like, oh, I'm Ashley, nice to meet you. And then we'll start talking and like, oh, how long have you been here? I'm like, oh, well, I own the place. Yeah. And it's one of my favorite things. Because again, like, one of my first hurdles as a business owner was making my face not be synonymous with the brand. And so it's one of those reminders of like, oh my God, I did it. I did not want to open a practice, again, probably why I jumped into my own space, where I lost my time, where I was now seeing 35 patients a week and I couldn't take a full week off because all my patients would have a lapse in care. And so here we support each other, because like Dana next month, she's going on a big trip to South Africa, and the rest of us will absorb some of her clients and everyone wins. You know, Dana can take vacation without worrying that her clients are going to have a lapse in care, and the PTs who are absorbing her clients are making a little bit more money that month if they're willing to see more visits. I think on our website it says, let's work for ourselves together. And so it truly is a collective in that sense, but really a proactive place for your health and to stay moving and to stay well.